Hi, my name is Mireia and I'm an improvisation coach at Improvise for Real. Today I want to share with you the exercises I use to add a new chord to my repertoire so I can improvise with confidence over it, I can use it in my own compositions, and I can even recognize it by ear when it appears in other people's music. By the end of this video, you will be able to use these techniques on any chord you want to learn. I use them with all my students and they love them, and I hope you will too. Let's say that I play in a band and in the chord progression of my solo there's a chord that I'm not very familiar with. So what I want to do is isolate this chord and study it by itself to learn how it's built, which are the chord notes, which are the passing notes. And after this focused study of this chord, I want to put it back in a context of tonality so I can learn how it sounds and how it feels relative to the key. To demonstrate this process, I'm going to use the 2 chord, which is a natural chord that comes from the major scale, and it's built on the 2nd degree of the major scale. The notes are 2, 4, 6, and 1. The first part of the process is to study this chord alone, and for that I'm going to use a great exercise that's called 7 worlds expanded. First, we need to get oriented and find the notes of the key in our instrument. In this example, I'm going to be in the key of G, so I need to find the notes of the G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I can find the notes of the 2 chord, which is the chord that I'm studying. 2, 4, 6, 1. 2, 4, 6, 1, 6, 1, 2. And now we can start the exercise. And it goes like this. First we improvise for a bit only using the chord notes, and then we start improvising using all the notes of the key. And we go back and forth, alternating between using only the chord notes and all the notes, chord notes, all the notes. 2, 4, 6, 6, 1. 2, 4, 6, 1, 6, 1. 1, 6, 1. 4, 2, 1. 4, 2, 1. For this part of the exercise, it is crucial that you play very mindfully and you are always aware of the notes you're playing. So for that you can sing and play, or you can also just play, but always be very aware of the tonal numbers that you're playing. Now I want to focus in the specific feeling that each note gives me. So the chord notes are going to feel a little more stable, more relaxed, and the other notes are going to feel more tense, and so they want to resolve in a chord note. So now when I improvise using all the notes of the key, I'm going to use this to create a flow of tension and release in my melodies. Now let's turn this exercise into something even more fun. We're going to play it over a jump track that's going to allow us to feel this chord a little more clearly. I am at the Improvise for Real website and I'm going to go into my account where I'm already signed in the members area, my materials, and I'm going to choose jump tracks level 1. And these are jump tracks for each one of the 7 chords of the major scale. And here I'm going to choose the 2 chord, the 2nd harmonic environment. And in here I have 3 options of styles, which are meditative, modern, and today I want to play jazz, so I have to select the key of G in the jazz style. And there we go. studying this chord very deeply, when you feel like you've mastered it, that you really know very well which are the chord notes, which are the non-chord notes, and how they feel against this chord, it's time to move on to the next phase. And we're going to put this chord back in the context where it belongs, because when we study it separately this way, we get to know the notes very well, but we are creating a little bubble where we are playing modally, actually, because the note 2 or the root of the chord feels like the tonal center. So we need to put this chord back into context where there's a tonality around it, where there's other chords around it, and so it's going to have a different feel. And how I would do that is with an exercise that's called melody paths that I explained in detail in another video. And I would try it with different chord progressions in all the contexts possible, so I know very well this chord on its own, but also in all the contexts possible. And finally, of course, I would study this chord in the context of the chord progression of the solo that I wanted to play in the first place. Thank you for watching this video. I hope the things I presented are going to be useful to you. I'm giving you some links in the description to related content, and please, if you have any comments, any insights, anything that you want to share with me, leave me a comment below.